Got a simple trick I want to show you today. How do you add weight to a kick drum when you don't want to use a sample for whatever reason? Before we get into this, first of all, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out the video. There's a bunch of links and affiliate stuff down below in the description. I always appreciate it if you check that out. All right, so we got a kick drum here. Let's check this out. I mean, not awesome. If I kind of do a little bit of processing on this, kind of ends up like this. And, just a little bit of EQ, scooping some kind of low mids and adding a ton of 50 hertz to try and give this some oomph. And it just doesn't have enough. So this is a very simple trick. Basically, we're going to key a sine wave to add some weight to this kick drum. And if you're listening on like a smartphone or some kind of speaker without any low end, you're not going to hear this today. So I'd suggest grab some headphones, listen on a halfway decent set of monitors. First thing we need something to key this sine wave. Now, you could just use the kick track, but there's a lot of bleed and stuff in there, and the gate on there is, it's working for the most part. But for something like this, I like to create a trigger track. So I'm gonna let's create a new audio track, which is gonna be for the trigger. And then I like to use Massey DRT to do this, but you don't have to use that. There's other ways of doing this. This is just my preferred one. I know Tom Lord Algae uses Slate Trigger too. So let's make sure that everything is opening. I'm just going to do this really fast. I'm going to remove all the dynamics because it doesn't matter, because we're just going to pop something open. And we'll go through here. Let's just select that whole song. And we'll hit render. All right, so there is our trigger. Now let's send that to an AUX. Mono AUX, we'll just call this kick weight. Because why not? And I want to route this to my kick sub. So if we listen to this right now, it's probably just going to be like a thump kind of thing, because that's what Massey DRT creates. All right, first thing I need a gate. And I'm just going to use stock expander gate. We're going to set the key input to kick weight. I'm going to turn on that side chain. And then I'm going to set the range all the way down. We'll set the ratio all the way up because we're going to use this as a gate. Turn the hold down, turn the attack all the way down, and if I turn the threshold up all the way, we don't hear anything. If I pull it down, we're hearing that trigger routed into there. Now, I don't want that trigger. I want just a sine wave. So I'm going to pull up a signal generator. This is the next thing we need. We need a sine wave. I'll set it for 50 hertz. We'll crank a whole bunch of level on this. So now, what have we got? So now we have this kind of thumpy thing that's opening up, but I want to fine tune this a little bit and kind of smooth it out because it's got that clicky thing at the top. I don't want that. So I'm going to adjust that first. Let's turn off the look ahead. All right, now I'm going to adjust the release to kind of smooth this out a little bit more. All right, that should work. So I'm going to turn that all the way down. Let's turn our close mic for that kick drum back on, and I'm going to add this weight to it And let's see what this does. Much better, actually has some oomph. But wait, there's more. Let's mute this a little bit. Let's add a little extra to this. I want to distort this a little bit. That's going to help it read on smaller speakers a little bit. To do this, let's see, what's the stock distortion? Here, we'll just use lo-fi. All stock. Do this in your DAW with whatever you got. So I'm going to add this distortion. Shouldn't need much. Now I'm going to play it. I'm going to take that distortion in and out. See? Kind of cool. What does it do in the whole kit? I don't know what this is going to sound like. Let's just see. Pretty cool. Why should the kick drum have all the fun, though? What if we did this on a snare drum? So here, I'm just going to do a little section again. Here, we'll go right here. And I need a trigger track again. I just have a SoundFlow macro that creates this stuff for me, which just makes it real easy. Let's adjust DRT a little bit. That's probably fine. Turn those up. So again, we'll render it. We'll call this snare weight. All right. And again, we want our dynamics expander 3. Let's set the range all the way down, gate it. I'm going to leave the attack at 10 because, well, no, we'll speed it all the way up. We'll turn the side chain on and we'll set it to snare weight. All right, so again, just to check it. So we're triggering off of that. So now let's put a signal generator in here. But for this, let's set this to 150. And we'll turn this up a bunch. So now, what do we got? So I'm going to play just that top snare mic now, and I'm going to add in this weight to it. See, now let me take that new snare weight in and out. So some of this probably needs some fine tuning, but what if there's another way we can do this? Let's go back up to our kick drum a minute. Let's just grab a little quick section here. I'm going to go down to here, this kick weight, and actually, let's turn off the lo-fi a minute. I am going to commit just this selection. Don't need that, do nothing. All right, so now, right here, let's put a little bit of a crossfade on this. And I'm going to create a new selection of that. Now, let's just call this 50 hertz. Wait. Okay. I'm going to export this, and I'm going to put it in my drum samples. Here, we'll put it in with the kicks. All right, so now let's take this trigger track. I'm going to reroute this to the kick sub. I'm going to turn off the solo safe. Let's add trigger 2. And I want to go to browser, my favorites, kicks, 50 hertz weight that we just created. Let's go back to triggering. Let's check this out. So now I have that thump basically right on there. So if we turn everything off here, let's just solo up our kick now. See what that does mixed in with the close mic. So let's just play back with this trigger in. I think I like it with the polarity flipped. It's kind of a toss-up though, but now I've got that 50 hertz. I can just trigger it whenever I need. So that'll be helpful for me. In an Atmos context, with this trigger, I could just send this directly to the LFE. I mean, it's in the right frequency range and it'll just add a little oomph. It'll be pretty nice, theoretically. So anyways, that's just a simple trick. You want to add a little more weight to a drum, use a sine wave. You can create your own samples and really tailor the envelope too so that it works exactly the way you want it. So if you used this trick before, are there things you like doing to it that I'm not thinking of? Give me some ideas. Tell me how you like to use this kind of thing. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.